Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to talk about what children under the age of 5 should be eating in their day-to-day lifestyle. I know a lot of parents, especially where I work, a lot of parents come up to me and they feel like their child's not eating enough, or they just want to make sure their child is getting every specific nutrient in their body, just because obviously we want what's best for our child. So today we are going to talk about everything that we should be including in our child's diet, and then everything that we should be working on limiting. If you don't know, I am a dietitian and I work in WIC. I have been for about 2.5 years already, and I work with children under the age of 5. As well as I do have a child who's about 1.5 years old. So I definitely am very familiar with this. This is kind of my realm, and I just love talking about it. So let's get started. As a dietitian who works with children, like I said, I get this question almost daily. I don't know if my child is eating enough. What do they all need to be healthy? I don't think they are eating enough protein, enough fruit, enough vegetables. How do I know if they're eating enough of those things? So I'm going to break it down on each different macronutrient, different micronutrients to include and not include, and hopefully this will give you a better feel of what you should be including in your child's diet. It can be very overwhelming knowing the best things to feed your child. There are so many different commercials, articles, labels on things that try to get you to purchase them, and they're not always accurate on if they're healthy or not. So yes, it can be very overwhelming. As a mom and a dietitian, I am still overwhelmed and I still deal with that too, even though I do know mostly what is good and what's bad for my child. So hopefully after today you will get a little bit more confident on what to purchase for your child. Firstly, I'm going to say you are not harming your child if you don't give them that exact amount that I'm about to tell you for each like protein, fruits, vegetables. That's okay. Every child is not perfect. Every parent is not perfect. I could always work on eating more vegetables. There's no one perfect person, and so as long as you are trying to eat healthy and trying to expose your child to healthy foods, you're doing a good job as a parent. So like I just said, exposing your child to food at least 8 to 15 times has shown to enhance the acceptance of that food. So if you are just giving your child like a piece of broccoli one time and they go, "Ugh," and you think that they don't like it, that's not the case. Usually it's because of it's new to them. It's a weird texture. It might not be cooked the way that they want it. So yeah, 8 to 15 times it takes for a child to realize, oh hey, I actually do like this, or oh hey, this is not my favorite thing. So keep that in mind. Especially young children, they might be trying this new food for the first time. So, and it's a different texture, different flavor, so just give them the benefit of the doubt and just keep trying it over and over again. Okay, so let's talk about what food items should be in your child's daily diet. So the first thing is protein. So some of us might know what protein is. Some of us might just assume it's just meat, but it could be seafood, it could be beans, it could be lean meat, poultry, eggs, and also unsalted like nuts and seeds. So there's a lot of different ways to get protein in your diet. Keep that in mind. The next thing is fruit. So I encourage purchasing either fresh, canned, frozen, or even dried fruit. When you're looking at canned fruit, make sure that it's light or packed in its own juice. Again, there's so many different kinds of canned fruit, and it's hard to tell which one you should be getting. So again, just make sure it's either light or packed in its own juice. That just means that there's not a lot of added sugar in it. For vegetables, same thing. I encourage eating fresh, canned, dried, or frozen vegetables. Everything like that is okay. You don't just have to do fresh fruits and vegetables. Canned and all of that is perfectly fine as long as you're making sure that they are low in sodium and low in sugar. So for vegetables, making sure you're doing like colorful vegetables along with like peas and beans. And when you're looking at the canned vegetables, like I said, just make sure that they are lower in sodium. Grains, make sure we're choosing whole grain items. This could be like whole wheat bread, whole wheat pasta. It could also be like oatmeal, quinoa, popcorn, and brown rice. So like for popcorn, obviously it's not gonna, we don't want them to be eating the very buttery popcorn. And then if your child does not like just like this straight up brown rice, you can always do like half and half. Just making sure you're incorporating it is what we're trying to do here. We don't want to just make them eat all of the foods that they don't like, because that's going to be a bad relationship with food later on in life for them. For dairy, we encourage eating or drinking low-fat or fat-free dairy. So that could be milk, yogurt, or cheese. Now that we've talked about everything that should be included in our child's diet, let's talk about some things that we want to make sure and limit in their diet. Okay, first off, added sugar. I know a lot of people talk about added sugar, so I really wanted to talk about this one. This is different than naturally occurring sugars that are found in like fruit and milk. Some people go a little too overboard and won't give their child fruit because of the sugar content. That's naturally occurring. That is perfectly fine. What we're talking about for added sugar is that it is added to the product. So this includes like sodas, juice, cereals, all of those. A lot of them, not all, have added sugars in them. So for example, if your child drinks juice, make sure it's 100% juice without added sugars, and there are quite a bit of options for that. Saturated fats are another that we want to make sure and limit in our child's diet. These mainly come from animal sources like red meat, hot dogs, poultry, butter, full-fat dairy products, food like that. Pizzas, ice cream, sandwiches, burgers, cakes. Those are a lot of common foods that have a lot of saturated fats in them. When you're cooking meals, we want to make sure that you're using healthier oils like vegetable and nut oils. These also help provide essential fatty acids and vitamin E. So just a bonus, you know, you're going to be cooking with oil, might as well use the healthier options, and your child's not even going to notice the difference, and there's going to be added benefits to it. This is salt or sodium. Research shows that most children in the U.S. have way too much salt in their daily diet. This is a little concerning because there's some health risk associated with like consuming too much salt. So we want to make sure that we are doing our very best to make sure our child is not eating a lot of salt or sodium during the day. So salt can be found in different things like bread, which you might not know of, meat, condiments, and processed foods. That was a little gist of things that we want to make sure we're adding in our diet and things that we're making sure that we are limiting in our diet. I guess I said that earlier, and our child's diet. So I guess, you know, if you're eating healthy, your child's going to see that you're eating healthy. So might as well make this a family thing. The next thing I'm going to do is talk about the guidelines for girls and boys ages 2 to 4. So since I do have a son, I am just going to go over the boys, but I will include the girls' recommendations as well. And again, keep this in mind. This isn't like a strict, every child has to have this many calories, this much protein each day. It obviously depends on your child, and just making sure that they're eating a nice, well-rounded, well-balanced meal at each meal and having healthy snacks throughout the day is what really, really matters. But this is a nice little guideline to keep in your mind when you're planning meals and stuff. For boys, calories are going to range from 1,000 to 1,600. Kind of depends on their growth and their activity level. So again, like I said, it could depend how active your child is, how they're growing, etc. Protein is going to be 2 to 5 ounces of protein each day. Fruit, 1 to 1.5 cups. Vegetables, 1 to 2 cups. And then grains, 3 to 5 ounces. And then dairy, 2 to 2.5 cups. So it's not like you're going to be measuring this every single time that you're feeding your child. We just want to make sure that you're kind of in the close range of these recommendations. I hope you guys enjoyed this little tidbit about how and what to feed your child. If you like this video, I will definitely make more like this.